Good day, everyone. This is Mark Vella, and you're listening to Headline News. Biden to withdraw Trump's $27.4 billion government spending cut plan. President Joe Biden said on Sunday, January the 31st, that he will withdraw the $27.4 billion package of federal spending cuts that was proposed by former President Trump before leaving office. Biden told House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Sunday that he would withdraw the 73 proposed rescissions of government spending plans that had previously been submitted to Congress. Trump previously proposed $27.4 billion in spending cuts, or 1.2% of the $2.3 trillion government funding bill passed by Congress. The bill also included a $1.4 trillion omnibus bill to fund defense spending and domestic programs, as well as $900 billion worth of pandemic relief. Trump announced the government spending cuts on January 14th, less than a week before he left office. He had previously hinted that he would propose rescinding the entire government funding bill in order to reduce spending in specific areas that his administration deemed wasteful. The $2.3 trillion government funding bill passed by both chambers has been heavily criticized by Trump and others for wasting items and making unnecessary spendings, such as providing hundreds of millions of dollars in aid overseas, and funding not even open for business entities. Trump's proposed spending cuts were made by invoking the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. Under the act, if the president wants to spend less money than Congress has provided for a particular program, he can send Congress a special message stating the amount he proposes to withdraw, the reasons for it, and the economic impact, to seek congressional approval for the withdrawal. According to Trump's letter to Congress, his proposed rescission of the pandemic stimulus is expected to affect programs in agriculture, commerce, education, energy, health and human services, homeland security, interior, justice, labor, state, and the Treasury. Trump said at the time, "I will sign the omnibus and COVID package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. I will send back to Congress a redlined version, item by item, accompanied by the formal rescission request to Congress, insisting that those funds be removed from the bill." At the time, several Democratic members of Congress criticized Trump's move to cut spending, including Representative John Yarmuth, chairman of the House Budget Committee. He accused Trump of trying to inflict as much harm as possible before leaving office and described his request to cut the $27.4 billion government spending budget as damaging and irrational. The Congress spending bill came under extensive scrutiny in December, but the House and Senate passed it after months of negotiations and posturing. The lawmakers rushed to pass the measure to avoid a shutdown. The bill was over 5,500 pages. Its length stunned the Congress, and many members of both chambers were frustrated. They said they did not have enough time to read the massive bill before voting to pass it. Intel official: CCP attempted to collect Americans' DNA information. A former U.S. intelligence expert recently said that the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, may be collecting DNA information on Americans and then using it to monopolize or control medical supplies in key areas. On Sunday, January 31st, Bill Evanina, director of the Trump administration's National Counterintelligence and Security Center, told CBS's 60 Minutes program that the world's largest biotech company, China's BGI Group, had offered to set up a testing lab in the state of Washington shortly after the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus, also known as the CCP virus. It was so disturbing that Evanina issued a rare public warning stating that foreign powers can collect, store, and exploit biometric information from COVID tests. This shows the nefarious mindset of the Communist Party of China to take advantage of a worldwide crisis like COVID, said Evanina, an FBI and CIA veteran. Evanina and his colleagues are most concerned that control of biological data will lead to total control of healthcare. If everyone's medical condition is available through DNA and other data, a government like the CCP could take steps to control or monopolize treatments and medications. He questioned if we should let a foreign country eliminate our healthcare services. Last year, the U.S. public was very concerned about China's control over medical protective equipment, such as masks and gowns and other items. Edward Yeo, a biochemist turned FBI investigator, was also interviewed by 60 Minutes. He noted that while China is attempting to collect biodata from other countries, they are not allowing any access to their biological data. It is a one-way street. Evanina added that China uses less than honorable methods to collect all sorts of data from outside their borders. He said, current estimates show that 80% of American adults have had all of their personally identifiable information stolen by the Communist Party of China. Trump adds 2 new lawyers to his impeachment defense team. Former U.S. President Donald Trump announced on January 31st that Alabama attorney David Schoen and former Pennsylvania prosecutor Bruce Castor have joined his legal team and will defend him in his impeachment hearings. A statement released by Trump's office on the 31st said that Schoen has been preparing for the impeachment hearings with Trump and other advisors. For his part, Schoen released a statement saying he was proud to represent Trump and the U.S. Constitution in court. Castor served as Deputy Attorney General and Acting Attorney General of Pennsylvania. In a statement, Castor wrote, "The strength of our Constitution is about to be tested like never before in our history. It is strong and resilient, a document written for the ages, and it will triumph over partisanship yet again and always." The Senate impeachment hearings will be held on February 8th. Analysts at FoxNews.com believe that although Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is pushing strongly for a second impeachment of Trump, it is unlikely that this impeachment will be supported by 2/3 of the Senate, as 45 Republican members of the Senate oppose this second impeachment, and therefore Trump will be found not guilty again. Senator Roger Marshall, representative of Kansas, said he was shocked by the left's hatred of Trump when the House impeachment manager released the impeachment papers in the Senate on the evening of January 25th. He said, "They were far more emotional than I expected, and I was shocked at how much some people hate Trump and how emotional they were, and shocked that they were excitedly doing things irresponsibly." For his part, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said he had spoken with Trump on January 25th. Graham said, "He has a team of lawyers, and he just needs to do what is being done, and the impeachment will pass in a few weeks." The Democratic-controlled House of Representatives passed a second resolution of impeachment against Trump on January 13th, 232 to 197, accusing him of provoking the January 6 riots on Capitol Hill. This concludes today's broadcast. Thank you for your time, and stay tuned for the next Headline News.